Welcome to the Khuns and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica with my co-host Steve Bradley. Welcoming him on. The Section 5 Class A1 football champions. Haven't been able to say that from a team from Hilton since 1994, but there they are, the Cadets. With us, head coach Rich Lipani in his 34th season. Also, Jeffrey Broadnax. He was the game MVP with a big running night. Him and Mr. Lowry, tremendous effort. The most outstanding lineman, Karl Kuhns, there in the middle, and an injured captain is going to be joining us, Ameer Alsafadi. Wave, Ameer. Hi, Ameer. You get to wave. Fullback, linebacker. But let's start, Steve, with you because I want to get your comment on this. 40-7, the 2-seed Hilton beats the 1-seed Schroeder. Schroeder had been undefeated, a rematch from week 1. Score is not indicative of what this game was like.
No, it was a battle all the way, and I think that's what people expected. These two teams had kind of been on a collision course to the end. And Rich, it's a rainy, kind of blustery night where Hilton gets 360 yards running and 4 touchdowns. Rich, is that just kind of the epitome of what Hilton football is, playing in all those conditions and toughing it out and wearing down your opponent and in the end walking off the field with a victory?
Well, that's what we hope to do every week. It doesn't always seem to work out that way, but these guys played fantastic. You know, it was rainy, but it was warm, and so I don't think the weather was that big of a deal. But we've been getting better every week, and we ended up, like every team wants to play their best game in the last game of the year. So that's what happened for us, and hopefully we can keep this thing going and keep rolling.
Karl, when you saw the forecast, did you guys think like this is our weather? This is Mother Nature saying the ground and pound team is going to have a benefit here. Broadnax, Lowry, us big guys moving the holes. Did you guys get any sort of like I'm big on that stuff, like foreshadowing, and did you guys think about that? Anyone talk about that?
Yeah, when we saw the forecast that it was going to be probably raining all day, me and other linemen enjoy that because we know that we're going to run the ball a lot. And we enjoy running the ball, just hitting the people in front of us and open up holes for our running backs.
Yeah, Hilton's had a lot of good teams a long time, and Coach had a pretty passionate post-game speech. But what was it like to do it not just for your brothers, but for the whole community?
Man, just looking back, Coach Lipani, he told our whole team, each day he repeated over and over, 20-something years, let's bring the sucker home. So it kind of, each day in practice, we still had to buy in. We couldn't just take days off because that would hurt the team. And it kind of showed on championship night. Everybody was locked in, ready to go. When things didn't go our way, nobody panicked. We kept our heads high the whole night, no matter what went our way.
Ameer, what's it been like for you? How long have you been out? And what's it been like to have to watch this? I know you're injured, but you're still a captain, and you wouldn't be here on this interview right now if Coach didn't trust you and value you. But what's it been like for you, young man?
I've been out since week 5 when we played Friends for at their homecoming game. I broke my arm, but since then I've just been watching my team, making sure, especially my position, fullback and linebacker. I kind of just watch over them, make sure they know what they're doing, make sure that they're not messing up. And to see them come this far, it's a real experience. Being on the sideline sucks, but still seeing them come this far and what they've accomplished as a team.
Coaches talk all the time about just wanting to get better every day with their team, and you had played Schroeder in week 1, and then you got them at the end of the year. You told us earlier in the interview that your team played its best game in the biggest game of the year. What area specifically did this team get better in over the course of the season?
I think a lot of players found out what they could do and realized that nothing was going to be handed to them. I think we came in thinking that teams are going to roll over for us a little bit, and that's not the way it works. And guys have continued to get better, and I've learned a lot in terms of strengths and weaknesses of guys and different players and working different guys in and out, and just a lot of adjustments throughout the year. And that's what the season's a long season, so you can make some moves. And these guys have just bought in and played some great football. We had a bunch of different guys really had some great games throughout the year.
Well, let's start with Lowry. I mean, Lowry, what a ball game. 18 carries, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, offensive MVP for you guys. Jeff, you're a workhorse, 26 carries, 138 yards, big interception. Let me take you back, Jeff, to the first quarter, because things did not start well for you guys. It started like, here goes Pagano, hits Horton for 53 yards, takes it down the sideline. Caleb Giuliano scores. They're up 7-0. You guys get a field goal at 7-3, but and then you get the interception on your second possession. What did you guys say in the huddle, Jeff? And I guess, did you see any panic at all in this group? Like, oh, here we go again, or was it, come on, let's get this thing together?
It was like, let's get this thing together. I feel like nobody panicked, but I felt like there was a little bit of tension here. They just scored on the last drive. Our middle linebacker just got hurt. I came in. I haven't played with middle linebacker in a couple games. So there's kind of a little bit of tension up in the air. I knew that we were going to be fine. We just needed to tackle, be physical to the ball. We needed to gain tackle. And for that play specifically, when I had got the interception, back in week 1, I remember a couple of times Torrance Washington, he would run that stick pattern, and they would have a running back come out kind of on like a banana route. And I would over pursue on the running back route, and Torrance would be wide open. So I kind of sat right in the middle of the route, and I didn't move, So one route would have been open if I would have over pursued, or that would have just happened, or Pagano would have had to run out of the pocket.
That's what study does. That's what learning does. That's what Coach Lipani talked about in the beginning. Karl, let's talk about the line of scrimmage, because ultimately that's where games are won and lost. And you and your guys were able to move some things and control that line of scrimmage. And when you start having success, how much confidence does that give you going into the next play that you can do it again and keep it going?
It gives me a ton of confidence. Like, if you run behind me and we get an 8-yard game, like, coach, let's just keep going. It just builds the confidence up, and eventually then you just break one off, like coach says. All we need is 3.5 yards per carry every time, and then one break off for a touchdown like Rob's, long touchdown the other game like Jeff. So it builds up the confidence to help us move people out of the way and just open up the holes for them.
Ameer, it's 10-7 at halftime. This is certainly a ball game. What's the halftime message in the rain over there at Fairport? How confident were you guys, and did you need to change much up, or was it just, let's just keep doing our thing?
All we were screaming at halftime, all I was screaming at least, is that we just had to wrap up. Torrance Washington's a very shifty kid. He's known for getting around. He's known for trying to making plays on the ball. All we had to do in terms of defense was wrap up. I was screaming to my guys. We all knew what we had to do. It was all up in the air. We all knew what we had to do coming into the second half.
Steve, let me just mention Brady Quill, junior linebacker, had 10 tackles. Some of the DBs, I read their names: Luke Lockhart, Nicholas McMahon, Nick Castellana. Rich, any other guys defensive we need to mention other than the guys on the screen that played huge?
We held them to 7 points, so all the guys on defense, I mean, you could go through the list: Braden Pike, Nick Feedy, Jake McMahon, Nick McMahon's brother, Connor Belanca, John DiBattisto, and Tyler Letcher, Nick Castellana. All these guys, the defense played fantastic. They played pretty well all year long. We have held teams down for the most part. A lot of the scoring teams have done on us has been against our backups. So and they continued that night, and Webster's got a great team. And again, we just put it all together at the most important time.
Well, let's take a quick break. Come back, Steve. We'll talk more with the Hilton Cadets, Section 5 Class A1 champions, headed to the state tournament for the first time in a long time, right here on the Khuns and Ferris High School Sports Show.
Looking for a used truck? Can you find one out of 350? At BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, you'll find one. Love SUVs? 800 are waiting for you to take one home at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. Add 350 pre-owned sedans, and you've got a total of 1,500 used vehicles only at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, We look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Khuns and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Khuns and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Khuns and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
The best three things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guys school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Protecting your home's worth pays off when you trust the experienced team at American Custom. We've all seen our homes go up in value, making home improvements a wise choice. If you think your home is worth a lot now, just wait until our team is done with it. Call American today.
Welcome back to the Khuns and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley right here on Rock Sports Now on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. It's the Hilton Cadets, football champions for the first time since 1994. Third title in school history. And Coach Lipani, 89 is when you took over. And how sweet is this, Rich? After waiting this long and going, I remember those great teams you had that seemed like every year it was Gates Hilton. And Gates got you more often than not. But I guess from your perspective, you've been at this a long time. How sweet is this victory?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. You sometimes just have to think that it may not happen again, but we've had some really, really good teams. And, we ran into the combined Webster teams for a few years. And then Gates and us would play twice a year. We'd knock them off in the regular season. Then they get us back in the sectionals. And Aquinas teams with the 5 D1 players running around. We had them beat one time over at Paytech Park. It was Zembeck and that bunch, and they found a way to beat us at the end. So frustrating, but every year we've been, some great players been knocking at the door every year, and to finally knock it down this year was fantastic. We had a great group of kids. They worked hard all year, and this kind of started. This whole thing kind of started about halfway through last year when we made some personnel changes and turned things around a little bit last year because we weren't very good last year, and so this was a great experience and couldn't happen to a better bunch of guys.
Yeah, did you keep the trophy? I mean,
No.
You said, we're bringing this sucker home. Where did the?
I gave it to Karl, I think, and I don't know what he ran around the field with it or something. I don't know what he did. So I didn't see it again until I haven't seen it since I had it in my hand that minute. To be honest with you, I think in the athletic director's office, Mike Ritchie came down and snuck it out of here. I think Saturday morning. So we took it.
Hey, Jeff, let me go back to the game. It's 10-7 at halftime, and you guys come out of halftime, and you drive down, and you score again from 7 yards. Now it's 17-7. At what point did you feel like maybe you kind of broke Schrader's spirit? This is still, again, it was still a pretty close ball game going to the fourth quarter. When did you feel like you broke the spirit at one point?
I felt like right after that defensive drive that we had, and they had punted the ball off, and we got that stop, and then we scored on that same exact drive. I felt like that's when we broke them apart. I seen their guys getting down way before that, even when it's 14-7, but they just couldn't find a way to score just because of our defense, so their spirits were broken really early in the game.
Karl, Coach said that he handed you the trophy, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed your time with it. But now you got another game to prepare for. Is it hard to put that behind and move forward with a new goal? Or you guys been able to do that and know that there's another game to play this weekend?
Yes and no, because I haven't been at a break here in 28 years, so got to cherish it while I'm still here. But I do realize we have a good opponent we play 5 days from now, so I should focus on that and hopefully next round, which will probably be even better memory than last Friday.
It's going to be Jamestown Saturday night, University of Rochester's Fauber Stadium. Jamestown has won 8 in a row. They're 9-2. Hilton's won 10 in a row. They're 10-1. And it should be a great game. Should be tremendous. Rich, have you been able to get much into the scouting yet? I know you probably did the minute you could. But do you know much about them?
Well, we've got a couple, 2 or 3 films I believe we've got. We've been looking at a little bit. They're an excellent team, an excellent program. They're there every year. They got a great quarterback who's going to North Dakota State, same place that I think Carson Wentz played. So he's an excellent kid. He's an excellent player. He got some good athletes, good receivers, running backs. So they're excellent program. So anybody at this time is going to be good. So we've got to come out and play well. We've been playing pretty good, especially last Friday night. So we got to continue that and see what happens. It should be fun.
Ameer, I wanted to ask you about
how
Coach.
have you been?
Go ahead, Steve.
No, you go ahead. You got it.
Ameer, I wanted to ask you about Coach. What you see how much he cares about this program. How does that impact you guys?
It does nothing but help the team. Seeing how passionate your coaches are about the sport only makes your drive to play better. Makes you want to win. It makes everyone. It's kind of hard to put into words. My coach says a lot. He says it's where pride still matters. He puts that. He kind of puts that into us, where they're passionate about everything they do. So in turn, it makes us more passionate about what we do too. We want to play. We want to win because of how bad they want it. So it's what drives the team.
I think if you look at Coach Lipani's ear, there's a towel on the bulletin board right behind you that says exactly that, where pride still matters. Very cool. I'm very happy for you guys. I know you've worked really hard for it. Steve, any closing thoughts?
No, I thank them and I wish them well. And, it's always fun to see teams that have gone through the process and where winning hasn't come easy, find their way and climb their way to the top. So well done, cadets.
And also, Coach, congratulations on climbing up the ladder over 200 wins now in your career, in your 34th season. Steve, check me if I'm wrong. I think it's Maston, Whitcomb, and now Lipani, right? Yeah. Rich, is that right? You passed Santini.
Yeah, because he might have passed Don Santini this year, right?
No, you did. You did pass Santini. He's number 3. Number 3.
Anyway, that's pretty great company to keep.
Rich, do you have a few more? Can we get to 3 or 228? Can we get there? No, what do you think?
Absolutely not. No, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know you've retired from teaching. I know this is real important stuff to you. So congrats to you and your program and your coaching staff. I know how hard all of you work, and we wish you the best of luck against Jamestown on Saturday night. Good luck to you, cadets. Thanks for being on our show.
Jeff, I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
All right, Rich Lipani and his cadets head into the regionals against Section 6. We'll see how they do. We wish them the best of luck. Thanks for watching us right here on the Khuns and Ferris High School Sports Show.